Hello Neowin, it's Tim Sheeser here. And what I have for you today is a quick video overview of the new Samsung Galaxy Note, the massive 5.3 inch device designed for note-taking and multimedia purposes. As I mentioned, this is a massive 5.3 inch Super AMOLED display at 1280 by 800, which means it has a great pixel density. This comes in at very thin, I believe that's 9mm or so. Has a power button on the top right corner. Shows you to turn it on and off the display, and is in a really actually good position for holding. I have to say though that the device is simply enormous, as you can see in my hand there, and it does make it quite difficult at times to use in your pocket, and it can inhibit you a bit because of its size, but if you like having a device that's 5.3 inches, then by all means go for it. It also has a micro USB port on the bottom, 3.5mm USB audio jack, not USB, and on this side we have volume buttons. On the back is an 8-megapixel camera with LED flash, and on the front at the top there is a 1.3 megapixel front-facing camera. You also get a on-off button at the front, which is actually home, and also you get a menu and back button which come on when you touch them. Of course, capacitive there. Inside, it's powered by a 1.4 GHz dual-core Samsung Exynos chipset with the Mali 400MP graphics processor on the inside. It's the same chipset you get with the Samsung Galaxy S2, except it's a little bit faster, so you'll be expecting massive amounts of speed. To illustrate the size difference between this device and the original Samsung Galaxy S, which has a 4-inch display, we have it here. As you can see, this device fits well in the hand and everything. It's quite a normal phone size. But this is blurring the lines in between phone and tablet because of its sheer enormous display. In fact, I think the Galaxy S almost fits into the display. Yep, almost. Now the main feature of this phone is not that it's running Android 2.3 or TouchWiz, it's the fact that it has a stylus that comes out the back, as shown, yeah. And you can perform gestures with this along with actually using it as a capacitive stylus, and it's really responsive actually. There's a little button on the top, and when you hold down this button and swipe up, the menu comes up. Swipe right to left, and you go back. But a more cool feature is the fact that you can bring up a note-taking application from anywhere in the OS by holding down the button and double tapping. This brings up S Memo Lite, which basically allows you to draw anything, such as Hi Neowin, and you can save this for later. Then you simply go into the S Memo application, which is handily pinned there. You can go to Hi Neowin, and you can continue to add stuff to the note by simply tapping, and you can draw anything you like. As you can see, as I mentioned before, the stylus is quite responsive and does allow you to draw if you really feel like it. Not that I would suggest that you do, it's quite difficult. But overall I really do like the stylus. Another feature of the stylus is that if you hold down the button on it and hold down on the display, it takes a screenshot. You can then edit this screenshot in this application here. For example, if I wanted to highlight that on Tuesday it's going to be cloudy, I can simply circle that and put an arrow to it if I want. I can then click on the Share Via button. Once it's generated the image, I'll be able to share it via social networks and things like that, such as Facebook, Twitter. Even I can share it via a message. The note-taking features of this phone go beyond that though. For example, if I go back into the Hi Neowin app, and I click on this arrow here, I can enter audio, I can take photos, and I can even, I believe, enter maps, if you can see that. It's a really nice feature, and to be honest, if you're going to get this device, you'll want to use the note-taking features on this. More cool features of the Galaxy Note software are things such as the Readers Hub, which allows you to browse a variety of different news services and book services right from your device. Of course, books are powered by Kobo. I haven't made an account, so I haven't really tried that out, but viewing text on this device is great because of the massive display. Another area that I really like, of course, is the video maker. This allows you to take video clips that you've made and turn them into a movie right from the device. For example, if I drag and hold this down into the clip maker, I can then go into my photos and say take this photo and move it down here. You can drag more. And this effectively has created myself a movie which I can save. That takes some time, so I'm not going to bother on camera, but if you get the device, that's one of the great features about it. There's also a photo editor. It's pretty basic. And there's more hubs, such as the music hub. You can download music. It's not actually available here in Australia, but apart from that, you get Samsung apps. Now, I normally wouldn't talk about an alternative market such as Samsung apps, but it does have an interesting feature. If you go into top and then click on free and wait for it to load on my slow 3G connection, this is pretty slow. There we go. And you scroll down a bit, you see that you get Asphalt 6 Adrenal HD here for free. So if you have a Samsung Galaxy Note, please check this out rather than buying it from the market. I think it costs about $7.50 from the market. So you can get it for free right from using this device. And we can show you that for the performance of the 1.4 GHz processor on the inside. Trust me, it's very, very smooth at pretty much anything that you throw at it. Web browsing panning is super, super fast. In fact, you won't be disappointed with the speed of this at all. And I don't know what people are constantly complaining about, that Android dual cores are still laggy. I find this device to be smooth at all possible moments, and I think Samsung has done a great job. We can get into Erase here. Let me show you the graphical power of the Mali 400MP, 1GB of RAM, and also the Exynos chipset. Now mind you, I'm not going to be very good on camera, but we can give it my best. Having the 5.3-inch display really helps. It's simply gorgeous to use for things like this, and even when you're, for example, watching movies or looking at photos, even browsing the web and text, the 5.3-inch display is simply amazing for that purpose. So if you like having a big phone and you like doing things such as gaming and that, then this is definitely a device for you. And it does fit in most pockets, so it's somewhat portable. And I crashed my car because I'm on camera, so you can see then that was perfectly smooth in pretty much every way. Now the music playback on this phone I found to be quite good. It was lacking a bit in some areas such as bass, but you get this nice Samsung customized app to use. And the speaker on the back is surprisingly powerful. Let's find a... It can be quite powerful. I'm not going to annoy my neighbours here, but basically the speaker on the back, it's pretty good. Now, I also recommend that you check out some of the sample shots from the camera, because not only do the photos look great on the Super AMOLED display, but they also look good on a computer as well, especially the 1080p video recording. So this device is generally pretty good. The only thing I can complain about is how big it is. I mean, it's inconveniently big. I really would have liked this with, say, a 4.7-inch display, like on the Titan that I viewed a couple of weeks ago. That would have been great. It wouldn't have been as good for note-taking and things like that, but this is just a ridiculous size. I mean, everyone that I talked to said that this phone is simply ridiculous. I mean, putting it up to your ear to make calls, you just look like a fool because of how massive it is. So I think Samsung has sort of not targeted anything with this. I mean, it's not a tablet, it's not big enough to be a tablet, but it's too big to be a phone, so it's kind of a weird combination here. And finally, of course, I do have to make mention of the battery life, which I've actually been pleasantly surprised by. Despite having a massive 5.3-inch display and dual-core, it easily lasts 2 days. If I charge it in the morning, it'll easily last through the day, through the night, and back through the next day. So that's actually really surprising. That was only with moderate usage, doing some messaging and things like that. But it was pretty good, so I was impressed with that. Overall, I'd only recommend this device if you really want a massive display. If you want to use it for photos, if you want to use it for videos, then by all means get the Note. But if you're after something a bit more portable, like I'm sure most people are with the phone, I'd suggest getting the Samsung Galaxy S2 over this. That said, I still really like it, and I'm sort of tempted to get one myself, but again, it's just that bit big. If you want to ask any specific questions about this device, please follow me on Twitter and ask my questions there. I check that very frequently, so you'll be able to, ask me anything you like. Also follow at Neowin feed. You can get all the latest updates from Neowin. And also thanks to mobucity.com.au, who kindly sent out this device. I believe it's from Poland, but they import it for you, and they have great shipping rates and speeds, so by all means check them out. And finally, the written review. That's where all the nitty-bitty little bits will go, so a link to that will be in the description. Thank you, and enjoy.